Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Sunday, March 31st, 2024, Easter Sunday. I'll be honest with you, if I had remembered this was Easter Sunday, I probably would have taken today off. But I promised all of you that I would be doing a video today, so here we go. This is my newest segment of, let's look ahead just a little bit. But before I do that, I have a little surprise for you. This is Coco, and he's got his Easter bandana on. Say hi, Coco. Anyway, I hope that brightens your day just a little bit. I'm going to put him down. Anyway, even though this is Easter Sunday, I'm happy to do this video because some interesting things are going on here as always here. So this Friday here, the market was closed. However, we did get a key piece of economic news, which I believe is going to be more or less covered up as usual. You're not supposed to know these things are going on, but they are. And most of you out here probably know what I'm talking about, and it's not even a surprise to a single one of you. Have a look at this headline from Market Watch, okay? Friday, inflation is heading higher again. And read underneath here. Can you read this? It says here, February's PCE, personal consumption expenditures, which happens to be the Federal Reserve's so-called favorite inflation gauge, it just showed another sharp increase in prices. Now let me ask you, before we even break this down, where is the accountability? It's nowhere. It's an incredible thing. And the silence is deafening. Nobody is going to be held to account. The Federal Reserve is doing this by design. Let me explain this to you another way. Every single one of our policymakers knows this, okay? We know it. They know it too. But the mechanism here is going to continue, and that is, first of all, we have no representation. Zero. Our so-called loving, caring representatives, they don't represent you and me. They represent the power. The powerful. They represent the Federal Reserve here, who is the government. The Federal Reserve is making them all exceedingly rich. You all know that too. It's always the 1% and 2%ers here. The rest of us, we're slaves to their system. Let's be honest with each other. So let me ask you, does this surprise you? I don't think it does, because every single one of you that followed this blog knew and continues to know that this is not the end. By a long shot. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to let you in on another secret. With regard to inflation, you've heard me say this a million times. You haven't seen anything yet. Central banks are going to continue to inflate on a scale that people are not going to believe, but you're going to get the propaganda ministries, CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business, Market Watch, all of them, Reuters, and they're going to try to convince you that, again, what you're seeing is not real. If you recall, just last week, there were several reports that were being shared by the propaganda ministry. They all get the same script. They're all told what to say. Inflationary pressures are easing. They're easing. But according to this latest report, okay, another sharp increase in prices, and this is not going to stop. And of course, there will be no accountability. So with regard to that, if you are not taking action against this, you're going to be slaughtered. I already told you this for 10 years now. If you're a member of the middle class, you have a tattoo on your face in the shape of a target. You are being eliminated. You are being exterminated, absolutely. And this new system, this neo-feudal system here, is going to cause you such grief that you have no idea what's coming down the pike. If you follow this blog, I think you have just the slightest idea, probably, even me. This is going to unfold beyond a worst-case scenario here as central banks solidify their position as world control. Period. I think we're all on the same page with regard to that. Let me talk a little bit more about that just real quick before we talk about these markets. So, a Lowe's credit card. Unfortunately, some of you probably have this thing. They're now charging a 31.99% interest rate. A 31.99%. Now, the Lowe's here isn't the only one. This is predatory on a scale that is just hard to get your head around. As a matter of fact, this entire environment is predatory. It's designed to destroy you, your family, your lifestyle, obviously the value of the currency here. And this is, if you think this is just by accident, you're wrong. But, just real quick, I don't know how many of you are aware of this. If you have a good payment history with regard to your credit cards, you haven't paid late or anything like that, you can actually call these places here. In this case, I'm talking about Lowe's, but it could be any credit card company. And you can request a lower interest rate. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get one. Most people have no idea that you can do that. But look, I sincerely hope that you are not a slave to debt. I've been out here for a very long time now, over a decade, explaining to you the perils, the landmines that are set in front of you across the board. But with debt, especially this kind of debt, actually this is a double-edged sword here. Unsecured debt is the easiest thing on the planet to get out of here. You're not supposed to know that. Do you realize that big corporations here, they renegotiate their debt every day? And you have the same right. You're not allowed to know that you are allowed to renegotiate your debt. And actually, this is really the truth, pay pennies on the dollar like they do. Do you realize that every single time, let's say you apply for a loan or even a credit card or so, these are secured loans, meaning it's unsecured to you. But the credit card company or the lender takes out an insurance policy just in case you default. It's very similar to a credit default swap. So no one loses cash here. You understand? If you decide, let's say your credit card bills are off the Richter scale, you can't keep up, you're starting to fall behind, your credit score is dropping, and you're getting these harassing phone calls, you can pretty much tell them all to screw off. And you can renegotiate that debt. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do here for you, if you've never seen this before, one of the most important pieces of work I have ever done was break down how you can get yourselves out of unsecured debt like a credit card in the most simple and most direct and fastest way possible. And I do this for all of you 100% free. In the description of this video is a link to a video I did a long time ago where I actually break it down step by step how to get yourself out of this predatory nonsense, and you can renegotiate your debt. Sure, your credit score is going to take a hit, but you can fix that too. You're not allowed to know this stuff. It's an incredible thing how information is held back from people. So if you have any credit card debt or unsecured debt, unsecured meaning not linked to a house or to a car or something along, you can renegotiate these things so easy, so simply. And this guy here has broken this down for all of you step by step by step by step. Can't possibly be easier. So again, in the description of this video, check that out. Okay, just watch that video. And that's the information that you're really not supposed to know about, and no one's going to tell you. Okay, but me, I got your back always, always. You know that. I'll never let you down. I'll never let you down. And so take advantage of that. Anyway, so with regard to that, let's talk more about this market here. So this stock market seems to be unstoppable, despite reports like this, despite economic news which could not possibly be worse. Round after round after round of bad economic news. What's the stock market doing? Higher, record high, record high, record high. You and I said this would happen at the end of last year. We said the worse the economic news is, the higher the market's going to go. It seems very contradictory, but there's no connection here anymore. I mean, it's laughable. There used to be a time when the economy and the market kind of, balanced out, but no more. It's all about easy money. Ever since the meltdown of 2008, this has been a whole new environment across the board. Things don't make sense anymore. Valuations, forward guidance, all this stuff doesn't matter. It's what's driving the markets today, right now, is the promise of more easy money. The economy, not just here in the United States. All right, I have friends all over this world. Okay, and I hear from people all over this beautiful world, and they say, "Greg, you think you got it bad there? Just come over here and hang out with us for a little bit." I would love to see those of you in other nations around the world. As a matter of fact, I'm planning on a European trip probably next year. Maybe I'll get to meet some of you. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later on. But the fact of the matter is, this thing is coming apart, and it's coming apart by design, and that's why, again, stuff like this doesn't surprise a single one of you that follow this blog. All right, you and I have been calling this, and we also called the fact that there will be no accountability, nothing. The next time that Fed Chair Puke Powell is presented before a congressional committee and they all genuflect as he walks into the room, I don't know why they don't just, roll out the red carpet for this guy. He literally, when he walks into the room before these our Congress people, they treat him as if he's some type of a man god. Okay, and thank you, sir. Thank you. Can I look upon your greatness, sir? Thank you. You can't make this stuff. I'm telling you, we have nothing, people. We're dead in the water. We have each other. That's what we have. Okay, and we're taking steps to protect ourselves in this environment. We haven't seen anything yet with regard to the breakdown of this entire thing, with more war, more death, more suffering, more pain, higher inflation, a much worsening state of affairs with regard to how people conduct their lives. It's all dictated to us because we're forced to participate in their system. Imagine how twisted that is, but that's what we got here. So what's going on here with this market? Record high as the economy is coming apart faster, is the market is pricing in a cut. And I don't care about this. You see this stuff here? This is not going to stop the Fed from cutting rates. The Fed is on a fixed path. All right. You're being told a falsehood on a grand scale by the mainstream propaganda ministries. Oh, the Fed, they're data dependent, and it's appropriate. What they're going to do is going to be appropriate. That's what they told us before inflation got out of control. Remember that? And they're supposed to trust that this same institution that's destroying every single one of us, in the literal sense here, creating this neo-feudal system, extreme haves, extreme have-nots, making sure the wealth is pushed right up to the 1% and 2%ers. We're supposed to believe that they're going to fix the situation that they've created purposely? How about no, you can count on being more destroyed because people aren't doing anything about it. They're sitting back, as they usually are, as sheep and doing nothing. But that's not you, and that is certainly not me. We're taking action. We're betting against the debt, becoming our own central banks, realizing what's going on here, and it's going to get monumentally worse. Just when you hear the CNBCs, the Bloombergs, the Fox Business telling you how great things are, how perfect our economy is, so strong, and realize they're 180 degrees off. Okay, it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse here as the middle class is systematically eradicated like bugs. We're cattle. They are slaughtering us all. People marching right to the slaughter, as they usually do. It's unfortunate, but the fact of the matter is that the market, being that it is pricing in, and I talked about this just a few weeks ago, pricing in rate cuts probably means that when the rate cuts start, the market's going to fall. And that, my friends, is going to be an insane buying opportunity in my view. And for my lions out here, you're laughing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And I promise to keep all of you on top of that. So start putting some powder away. Have some cash available to buy. Right up until the presidential selection, okay, you and I are going to remain long this market. When we get closer to the presidential selection, we'll talk. We'll talk more. I already told you how this is playing out, how it appears as it's playing out, why the big fat cats are getting out of this market. You know this all already, okay? Meanwhile, the market keeps going up and up and up. You think they don't know that? Of course they do. But they have to get out now. And I've outlined that reason for you as well. I'm not going to cover it again here. But as usual, people, look, I got your back. I will never let you down. We can't lose, in my view, because we are smarter than they are. We know what they want from us. They're going to extort everything out of us that they possibly can. They're going to suck us dry. But we're not going to allow that to happen because we are taking every single proper step to get ourselves and keep ourselves in the right spot. Let them do what they want to do. Let them play their games as people are led to the slaughter because there's not enough of us to do anything about it. You have to understand that. And that's a whole other set of dynamics that we're going to have to face kind of soon here, as I believe that we're going to have a revolt in this country. And that's what they're trying to incite here, a revolt, an armed rebellion or something like that, a civil war so they can destroy us all again, because the U.S. military doesn't serve you and I. they serve the Federal Reserve, okay? And that's how the Fed the U.S. military is the enforcement arm of the Federal Reserve, in case you don't know that. And that's really true. They will attack targets around the world, not because you and I back that, but because that's what they're doing to protect the system that they run. You understand? I hope you do. I really, really do. All right, look, I covered a lot here with you. Do not forget, if you have any credit card debt, any unsecured debt, right when you finish here, click on the link in the description of this video and check out the video I did for you a long time ago, how to get yourself out of debt step by step. It is it is slavery. It's servitude, and it's actually beyond that. For example, Lowe's, 31.99% interest rate. Check the interest rate on your cards. They raise it. You don't even know about it. But like I said, you can ask for a lower rate, and you can get out of all that debt for pennies on the dollar. You're not allowed to know that. If these big corporations can do it, so can you. You're not supposed to know that you can. All right, look, this guy here from the heart, I love all of you, and I mean that. We got each other. We can't be beaten as far as I'm concerned, all right? So with that said, happy Easter from Coco and myself. I don't know where that little creature is. He's lurking about. Oh, he's on the couch over there. Anyway, I will see all of you in the morning. Please comment. Please share this stuff. Those thumbs up are valuable. It lets the algorithms pick up the video and they share this stuff. I want to help everyone. This is our thing. Our thing, all right? And I certainly believe that if one person has the power to change the world, I really believe this, then could you imagine what we can do collectively? We have that power, people. Believe me on that. Love you a lot. See you in the morning, all right? Until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.